Tonight, a state of emergency. The President of the United States issues an emergency declaration for parts of the Northeast after torrential rainfall triggered life-threatening floods, and more rain is on the way. We'll have that report. Plus,
it's goal smile type.
The ideal smile type.
Yeah. During the pandemic, our faces were often covered, masking our emotions. Enter smile clinics. In tonight's Prime Focus, we take you to Japan, where smile clinics are all the rage as people try to perfect their million-dollar grins for the post-pandemic era. And
just one kid after the other saw the next kid learn, and there's nothing they want more than to touch that thing.
We're with a family of 12 on an extraordinary musical journey, serenading the world with sounds of classical music and gaining thousands of fans in the process. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We're following those stories and much more, including marking one of the biggest shopping days of the year as millions of Americans try to take advantage of major deals. But do they live up to all the hype? We report on Prime Day and the ins and outs of the Amazon behemoth behind the sale. Plus, the landscape of professional golf could be forever changed with the PGA and LIV looking to partner together. But where did the deal originate? And what about the human rights record of the Saudi government tied to LIV? We'll bring you the details from a Senate investigation today. And she's fighting for her home country of Ukraine, is a new mom, and just beat the top tennis player in the world to get herself into the semifinals at Wimbledon. We'll have all the drama on center court. Our correspondents are fanned out around the world covering those stories and much more for us tonight. But we do begin with the devastating flooding in the Northeast, where the state of Vermont is now in a state of emergency as it experiences some of the worst flooding there in nearly a century. The capital city of Montpelier has been deluged by water, with authorities concerned that a nearby dam may not actually hold up. And the governor is calling the flooding, quote, historic and catastrophic. With water flowing through neighborhoods, the city's streets have become unsafe for travel. Rescues are still underway to pull residents from remote locations. Meanwhile, record heat is hitting millions of Americans from coast to coast, with cities like Phoenix reaching historic milestones. And there is no end in sight to all the extreme weather. ABC's Janae Norman leads us off from Vermont.
Tonight, raging rivers. From record-breaking storms bringing new danger to millions.
Make no mistake, the devastation and flooding we're experiencing across Vermont is historic and catastrophic.
Vermont's capital city, Montpelier, inundated overnight with up to 8 inches of rain. Cars floating down streets, windows of businesses looking more like fish tanks, the water nearly as high as the city's parking meters. By noon, swift water teams ferrying well over 100 residents to dry land.
In many areas, the water conditions remain too dangerous for rescue by boat.
After the Winooski River crested at a near record 21 feet overnight, officials now watching the nearly full Wrightsville Dam. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is there.
This dam was built after floods inundated Montpelier nearly 100 years ago. Since then, they've never had to worry about it overflowing until now. And if it does, officials say there's no precedent for potential damage.
Heavy visible damage from the air from southern Vermont to New Hampshire. The ski town of Ludlow now caked in heavy mud. These train tracks, part of an active railway for freight trains, left hanging in the air after rains washed the ground away. The storms also leaving a trail of destruction throughout New York State. In hard-hit Orange County, officials estimate the damage in the tens of millions. Military officials at West Point assessing damage to roads and bridges in the area. Some parts of the state got more than 2 months' worth of rain in a single day.
Just astounding images there. Janae Norman joins us now from Montpelier, Vermont. Janae, is there still an emergency order there?
Well, Lindsay, officials have just recently lifted that emergency order banning travel here, but you can see why it was in effect for most of the day. Look at this water line. It shows just how high the flooding got here in downtown Montpelier. And Lindsay, you can still hear those emergency sirens. Officials are warning that many areas are still not safe and that more storms, especially the potential for more flooding, are likely and possible Thursday through the weekend, Lindsay.
People still on edge in those communities. Janae Norman, our thanks to you. And now let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, who has been tracking it all for us and continues tonight. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, so the debris still piled up. The cleanup getting going here at Cindy Byers and Richie Byers' house. We've been watching this process. They just got new water heaters delivered today. They're trying to get back on track, and now there's more rain coming. So where does it come from? It's this storm right out here in the Midwest and Plains tonight with a damaging wind threat, Rapid City to Omaha. Tomorrow, St. Louis to Chicago. That bubble then expands, and with it will come heavy rains on the order of 2 to 5 inches. For places that got 2 months of rain or now at like 500% of normal for the month, this is really bad news. So looking at Maine, New Hampshire, and yes, parts of Vermont down here into the Hudson Valley too. And there's even more where that came from in the weekend. We'll be following that, but we have been following the heat waves. Now, these have been broiling. So many states now, 13 of them with alerts. I want to point out the Southwest though, after such a cool spring, Phoenix now at their 12th day in a row at 110 plus will easily, and looks like they will surpass their longest stretch of 110, which is 18 days, meaning we will go into next week. If Las Vegas, and this is kind of a nerdy thing that I'm always interested in, if Las Vegas passes 117, which is kind of their cap, that would break an all-time record. I remember being out at the National Weather Service in Las Vegas and asking them, why is it 117? Well, it looks like this Sunday, we might even be able to break that, Lindsay.
But these are, unfortunately, these are records we don't want to break. Ginger, our thanks.
That's correct.
Turning overseas now, where President Biden is at the NATO summit in Lithuania after now saying that now is not the right time for Ukraine to join the alliance. Earlier today, President Vladimir Zelensky sent a critical tweet calling it absurd that there's no timeline for his country to be admitted. With Biden and Zelensky set to meet tomorrow, ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the very latest from Lithuania tonight.
Tonight, President Biden and NATO countries making it official, declaring Ukraine won't be admitted to the alliance just yet, but pledging united support in the fight against Russia.
I still think that President Putin thinks the way he succeeds is to break NATO. Not going to do that.
The 31 NATO countries writing in an official statement, we will be in a position to extend an invitation to Ukraine to join the alliance when allies agree and when conditions are met. It comes despite enormous pressure from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who earlier today called it unprecedented and absurd that NATO hasn't laid out a time frame for membership, criticizing vague wording about conditions and adding uncertainty is weakness. Zelensky arriving here in Lithuania today to make his case in person, greeted by a crowd of thousands. Declaring NATO will give Ukraine security. Ukraine will make NATO stronger. President Biden insists NATO's core value that an attack on one is an attack on all means admitting Ukraine would put the U.S. and its allies on a collision course with Vladimir Putin.
As President Biden noted, bringing Ukraine into the alliance now here in Vilnius would bring NATO into war with Russia.
Elizabeth Schulze joins us now from the site of the NATO summit in Lithuania. Elizabeth, with President Biden and Zelensky planning to sit down together tomorrow, what's the White House saying that their planned message is?
Well, Lindsay, despite President Zelensky's criticism of NATO today, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan tells me that the meeting here with President Biden tomorrow is an opportunity to highlight how the U.S. is the leading partner with Ukraine in its fight against Russia, providing critical military and economic support. Lindsay.
All right, Elizabeth Schulze for us reporting from Lithuania. Thanks so much. Back in the U.S. now, lawyers for former President Trump are filing a formal request for a lengthy delay in the federal trial over his handling of classified documents. His lawyers are arguing that the extraordinary nature of the case means there's no reason to hurry the trial, suggesting it should not be heard before the 2024 election. Judge Eileen Cannon, who has ruled favorably for the former president in the past, will be weighing the request. PGA Tour officials were on Capitol Hill today defending the planned merger with Saudi-backed rival Liv Golf. During today's Senate Homeland Security subcommittee hearing, Senator Richard Blumenthal suggested the surprise deal is all about money and ignores Saudi Arabia's human rights record, the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, and its ties to 9/11. PGA Tour COO Ron Price defended the merger, insisting the PGA Tour was left with no choice.
We faced a real threat that Liv Golf, which is 100% financed by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, would become the leader of professional golf. Our sole purpose was to preserve our existence so that we could continue to benefit our constituents, our players, and charity, and our ability to continue to lead professional golf.
9/11 families which attended today's hearing described the merger as a punch to the gut. And Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama is under fire tonight after what he said about white nationalists. ABC's Rachel Scott went one-on-one with the senator and has what he's saying now.
Tonight, Senator Tommy Tuberville under fire for refusing to say whether white nationalists are racist. This is what he said in May, calling them Americans.
Do you believe they should allow white nationalists in the military?
Well, they call them that. I call them Americans.
Overnight, when asked to clarify, the Alabama Republican doubled down.
My opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call them white nationalists, to me is an American. It's an American.
Democrats calling his words dangerous.
This isn't a joke. This is deadly serious stuff. And for a member of the United States Senate to speculate about what white nationalism means as if it's some benign little thought experiment is deeply and terribly disturbing.
Today, I pressed the senator.
Can you explain why you continue to insist that white nationalists are American?
Listen, I'm totally against racism. And if the Democrats want to say that white nationalists are racist, I'm totally against that too.
But that's not a democratic definition. The definition of a white nationalist is someone.
Definition. My definition.
It is the definition.
Bad.
The definition. The definition is that the belief that the white race is superior to all other races.
Totally out of the question.
So do you believe that white nationalists are racist?
Yes, if that's what a racist is, yes.
And 2 hours later, under repeated questioning, the senator changing his tone from his comments in May, telling reporters point blank, white nationalists are racist.
White nationalists are racist.
The senator changing his tune there. Rachel Scott joins us now. Rachel, Senator Tuberville has also been facing criticism for blocking all military appointments to protest the Pentagon's abortion travel policy. Explain what's going on there.
Lindsay, more than 250 nominations in the military are currently being blocked by one senator, Tommy Tuberville of Alabama. He's doing this because he protests the Pentagon's policy around abortion that allows them to pay for people who are getting abortions and seeking abortion care in states where it is currently restricted. It is the first time in more than 100 years that the Marine Corps does not have a confirmed commandant. And for people watching at home wondering how this is all possible, well, in order to move forward with a vote, they need the permission of all 100 senators. And Senator Tuberville tells me he's not budging on this one, Lindsay.
All right, it'd be interesting to see how this one plays out. Rachel Scott reporting from the Capitol. Thanks so much, Rachel. Now to that stunning scene in California's LA County where 12 homes have been destroyed or condemned following a major landslide. Some residents were given just 20 minutes to evacuate, and tonight there's a sound signaling other homes are at risk. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman has the latest.
Tonight, investigators searching for the cause of this catastrophic landslide near Los Angeles. Home after home crumbling into the canyon in the Rolling Hills estates. You can hear this home's foundation cracking, a slow-moving disaster that officials say can't be stopped.
The last 2 or 3 days, it's been what you might call a little dramatic. Buildings changing positions, degrees of angle, popping.
The ground started shifting Saturday, moving 20 feet in 24 hours.
Just 2 days ago, the garage here was level with the street. Now it's 16 feet down, and there is a fissure that runs through the top of this neighborhood that has taken out home after home after home.
10 homes destroyed, 12 total condemned, 16 other homes now being monitored.
As the city prepares for disaster declaration, Lindsay, state geologists tell me that record rains this year above 200% have unleashed thousands of landslides across the state. And it's often the biggest ones that take the longest to form, which is why authorities are now concerned of additional landslides here in the coming months. Lindsay.
So much devastation, Matt. Thank you. An urgent search for an escaped murder suspect by land and by air now in its 5th day. Authorities say the self-taught survivalist who rappelled down from the roof of a Pennsylvania prison on a rope made of bed sheets may have been prepared to hide in the thick woods nearby. ABC's Alex Verche is in Warren, Pennsylvania again tonight.
Tonight, the first image of the makeshift rope made out of bed sheets murder suspect Michael Burham used to break out of this Northwest Pennsylvania jail. Law enforcement confirming this photo is part of their investigation.
From the night of?
Yeah.
That's where it was.
Authorities say there have been numerous reported sightings of Burham in the last 24 hours. The manhunt now in day 5. Authorities investigating tips in 6 states. using DNA testing to see if recent burglaries and break-ins in the area are connected to Burham. The police chief here in Warren, Pennsylvania, confirming to ABC News a report first published by the Times-Observer, a local paper, that their investigation into the jail escape has found evidence of extensive amounts of preparation. He told the paper it took 60 to 90 minutes for officers to obtain footage from exterior cameras that showed Burham running through residents' yards towards the woods, giving the self-taught survivalist a head start.
We continue to find items. Those lead me to believe that there is still a likelihood that he is here.
Officials really following those tracks. Alex Verche joins us now from Pennsylvania. And Alex, I know that you've been asking officials if there's any indication that Burham could have been getting help from inside the prison. What are they telling you?
Well, Lindsay, they're saying that's something they're going to continue to investigate, but the Warren police chief tells me that there is evidence of an extensive amount of preparation by Burham before this breakout, and authorities now believe that it's possible that he could still be receiving help even now. Lindsay?
Really fascinating. All right, Alex Verche, our thanks to you. Charles Manson follower Leslie Van Houten has been released from prison in California. Convicted of killing 2 people in 1969, she served 53 years of a life sentence. Now 73, she joined the Manson cult when she was 19. Governor Gavin Newsom chose not to fight an appeals court ruling granting her parole. According to Van Houten's attorney, she is now in a transitional living facility. Israeli researcher and Princeton student Elizabeth Surkoff has been missing for months in Iraq, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office says the 36-year-old is being held captive by a Shiite militia. We're joined now by her sister, Emma Surkoff. Emma, thank you so much for joining us. You say that your sister was kidnapped at a cafe back in March. Walk us through what you believe happened that day.
So I spoke with her the day before. There were no warning signs. We had a completely normal, routine conversation about finishing up her field work for her dissertation and coming back to Princeton to do the last part of writing up her dissertation. We even talked about flights to New Jersey. Really such a mundane conversation. There were no warning signs. And then the next day, which is a day when she went missing, I knew that she is going to go to a cafe because she often goes to work there. But I haven't heard back from her after, and we're always in very close contact. And no matter how busy she is, when I send her pictures of my son, her nephew, she always responds. He's truly the apple of her eye, and she didn't. And I immediately, within 12 hours, I knew that something must be wrong because there is no way that she's fine and is just not responding.
The Prime Minister's office says that they believe that she's still alive. Have you heard anything from Elizabeth or her captor since she was taken?
So I haven't heard from them directly, but I was informed by the Israeli authorities that she is alive. Generally, they're very cautious, and there have been with everything they've told me throughout this situation. So I'm certain that they have some good reason to tell me that she's alive.
She was in Baghdad at the time doing research for her doctorate in political science. Why do you think that they would want to take her captive?
From what I understand, they she was at the wrong place at the wrong time. She was just doing field work and interviewing people. She wasn't interviewing some militia people or doing something really dangerous. She was really interested in understanding how ordinary Iraqis understand their political realities. So it was completely innocuous research, and to the extent that they were looking for some intelligence operative, they have the wrong person.
Did she ever describe during her time in Iraq feeling unsafe?
No, not at all. Actually, to the contrary. She said that Iraqi people are very warm and welcoming, and that generally she felt very welcomed, and that there actually was a sense of pride in the fact that a Princeton researcher is coming to study there and to interview them.
ABC News received a statement from Princeton saying the university is concerned for her safety and well-being. Israel's government has acknowledged her abduction. What else do you think can be done at this point to get her home?
So I think the main party responsible for her safety is the Iraqi government that's responsible for her safety. She was kidnapped in Karada. It's a neighborhood. It's a very bustling neighborhood. There are a lot of Westerners there. And it's considered one of the safest parts of Baghdad and Iraq in general. So it is squarely the responsibility of the Iraqi government to ensure that the militia that holds her returns her safely home.
If Elizabeth could hear you right now, what would you want to say to her?
That I love you more than anything, and I miss you so much. And I promise I'll do everything I can and more to bring you back home.
Are you optimistic and have faith that you'll see her again?
I'm really trying to keep an optimistic outlook on this, but I have to admit that the nightmare scenarios are very hard to avoid thinking about, because so many terrible things can go wrong with a Jewish woman being at the hands of a terrorist organization. It's just all the horrible things that can happen just keep me up at night and are deeply worrying.
We can imagine, and our thoughts are certainly with you. Emma Surkoff, we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Still much more to get to here on Prime tonight. Scary moments when a grizzly bear tries to join a group on a trail. What happened after hikers realized they were being followed? But next in our Prime Focus, after a year of wearing masks, some have had trouble finding their smiles again. In Japan, a renowned teacher is helping her students get their grins back.
We don't have like facial expressions for a long time. So I want to recover my muscle, or my facial muscle.
Whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
In Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead.
An alert this morning for dog owners.
And the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different.
Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back, everyone. For quite some time during the pandemic, masks covered our emotions and our smiles. Now people need a little help getting that old grin back. In tonight's Prime Focus, our Brit Clinic traveled to a smile school in Japan. Yes, that's a real thing, in order to get some pointers that just might help us all.
Here in Tokyo, class is in session. This isn't some kind of facial boot camp. Welcome to Smile School. For 3 years, Japan masked up like no other country. Even without mask mandates, the streets remained a sea of covered faces. Earlier this year, the Japanese government downgraded the COVID threat and finally told everyone it's safe to unmask. Suddenly, with bare faces, some are realizing that when it comes to smiling, they're a little rusty.
笑顔はとても大切だと思っています。就職活動に使いたくて。
To the rescue is Keiko Kawano, Tokyo's smile guru. A former radio host who noticed that her own smile started to fade as her facial muscles weakened. Now a growing number of people in Japan are signing up for her classes to get their grins back in a post-pandemic world.
You think that because of the pandemic and mask wearing, more people in Japan have forgotten how to smile. They're out of practice.
思います。忘れてしまったと思います。というのはやはりマスクをしていることで笑顔になるチャンス、機会がぐっと減ってしまった。コロナが始まる前は本当に健康のため、美容のためというののレッスンが多かったです。だけれどもパンデミックの後は笑顔の作り方、笑顔に皆さんすごくこだわってたり、笑顔をうまくしたい。その夢を叶えるために Dreams Come True のために笑顔を得たい。
This is usually where the July 1st So it got me thinking, did masking during the pandemic affect my smile? Of course, I had to give it a go. Joining me in Tokyo's Ikebukuro district are two others worried about their, honestly, already brilliant smiles. 56-year-old chorus singer Manyo Hasumi and 28-year-old non-profit worker Shohei Hayashi.
この辺の筋肉の衰えをすごい感じています。
We don't have like facial expressions for long time. So I want to recover my muscle, or my facial muscle through this course.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Our smiles are now in Keiko's hands.
Let's start the smile train.
First, Keiko gets us to examine our face angles and learn about the muscles involved in achieving that perfect smile.
It's goal smile type.
The ideal smile type.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, start!
Keiko then uses a program to rate our current smiles. Now, time for the tips.
3 point. Mouth, cheek, eyes. 口、upper teeth 8. 下の歯は見えない。cheek.
Keiko says the masks have made our faces kind of lazy, and like all muscles, they need to be constantly exercised.
Small round.
It may look a little silly, but Keiko swears by it. She does her face workout every day.
Relax.
That was exhausting.
Yeah.
We need to have a rest.
Yeah. Bite.
Oh, yours are very firm. Do you mind if I touch? Oh. Wow. That's like a bicep flex, but in the face.
Keiko normally offers a 1-hour personal session for about $50. And while the number of Smile participants are growing...
You know, the teacher, I touched her cheek.
But not everyone is sold on the benefits of achieving that $1 million Tinseltown smile.
Some Japanese people learn the American smile from movies or TV.
Oh, so it's Hollywood.
Hollywood culture.
Tomohisa Samida from Keio University studies the history of masking in Japan.
So we have a long tradition not to smile.
And it doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing.
Not a bad thing. It's a rather good thing to keep calm.
Because if you're smiling, you're an extreme of an emotion.
Yeah, that's right.
But really, you
that's
should
right.
be centered.
Yeah.
Peaceful and centered.
Mm-hmm.
だけれども今日本にたくさんの外国の方が入ってきてくださってすごくグローバルになりました。そうするとやはり表情を使って言葉を使ってコミュニケーションをすることの大切さっていうのを皆さん感じるようになって、で日本人でも笑顔が増えてきたっていうふうに思っています。Are you ready?
Back at our training, it's time to check out how much we've improved.
Keep fighting, keep fighting. Okay. Oh, 99.
A happy Shohei scores higher.
頑張ってマリオさん。
But it seems Manyo is a little burnt out from all the smiling.
Use those muscles.
She nailed it on the second try.
Okay. Yeah.
How did you feel about your final smile versus your first smile?
最初の採点は私結構ダンスとか合唱とかやってるのですごい笑顔の訓練してるんですけど、やっぱりパーフェクトじゃなかったんですけれど、その後にはすごい一番いい点が取れました。
For the first trial, it was a bit awkward to keep like smile for 10 seconds. Later, it's really easier actually to make the good smile.
So how did I do? Well, I learned to keep fighting to hold that smile.
Oh, 99.
No matter what.
Flashing those pearly whites. Looking good, Britt. Still much more to get to coming up. The battle over 2 wills from Aretha Franklin, an official document, and one found in her couch. Which one a jury says is valid. The family of journalist Evan Gershkovich opens up about what his life is like inside a Russian jail and the promise they received from President Biden. But next, it is Amazon Prime Day. The company brings in big bucks during the midsummer sale, but they're facing some employee discontent over layoffs and their return to office policy. We'll take a look by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
I came out of jail with a plan. I was gonna put every piece of energy I had into music.
Give it up for Jelly
If I wasn't a musician, I'd be dead. This was my best bet to really have an impact. I'll cry with you. Who'd have thought I could help people? I needed help, you know, I still need help.
Somebody save me. I love you.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into. That day that we walked out, I treasured that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good. Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. The 2-day Amazon Prime Day sale is here, bringing in massive sales for the online retail behemoth. But it comes as the company is facing some backlash over layoffs and getting employees back to the office. Let's take a look by the numbers. More than 48 hours, Amazon is offering select deals on thousands of products across its site. The 2-day event brought in an estimated $12 billion in sales last year, with Amazon estimating some 300 million items were sold worldwide, with home goods and electronics leading the way. Prime Day was launched back in 2015 to mark the company's 20th anniversary, becoming a way to boost Amazon sales during traditionally slow summer months, while also giving a jump start on back-to-school shopping. And it also helped grow the company's 200 million Amazon Prime members, who around the world pay $139 a year for free shipping and discounts offered only to Prime members. But it's not all smiles for the retailer, which has laid off some 27,000 workers since November, or 8% of its corporate workforce. The company has been forced to make major cuts after boosting staffing during the pandemic, when more Americans were stuck at home and shopping online. And after calling for employees to return to the office 3 days a week, the company has faced some internal backlash. 30,000 employees signed a petition protesting the move this spring, with thousands joining a walkout protest back in May. Despite that, the company has not changed its return to work plans. As for Prime Day, just remember, if you miss out on the deals this week, don't worry. There are still 166 days to shop until Christmas. And we still have much more ahead here on Prime tonight. Loaded firearms found in carry-on luggage. The TSA reveals just how many guns have already been intercepted at airports this year. It can be rare to have 2 or 3 musical talents in one family, but how about 12? Meet the siblings serenading thousands of fans. But first, a look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yeah.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
The latest on the fight to extinguish a deadly cargo ship fire. A jury decides which of singer Aretha Franklin's wills is valid, and tense moments for hikers as a grizzly bear gets too close for comfort. These stories and much more in tonight's rundown.
In New Jersey, the massive cargo ship fire that killed 2 firefighters last week is now contained. Crews doused the flames for days with thousands of vehicles on board. Port Newark Captain Zita Merchant says cleanup can begin and the investigation can ramp up.
We do need to closely look at that timeline to see what happened, what information was passed, and that information will help inform how information is flowed in the future.
Well, this comes as Newark union leaders slammed the city for a lack of staffing and training for the firefighters and aging equipment.
The city has temporarily closed neighborhood firehouses because we don't have staff to fully operate them. The bottom line is, this fire department has been neglected.
A jury in Michigan decided a handwritten will found in Aretha Franklin's couch after she died in 2018 is a valid document. 2 of her sons argued the handwritten will dated in 2014 should override another document written in 2010. The dispute over 2 different handwritten wills turned her 4 sons against each other. 2 of the brothers wanted to follow the 2014 will, while the other 2 brothers preferred the handwritten 2010 will found in a locked cabinet. Under the 2014 will, Keekaf Franklin would get his mother's main home. The older will said Keekaf and Edward Franklin must take business classes and receive a degree to benefit from the estate.
TSA agents intercepted more than 3,200 firearms at checkpoints in the first half of 2023.
Of the 18 guns detected in carry-on luggage or carried by passengers going through security on the average day, more than 92% were loaded. This is an increase from the first half of 2022, when 86% of intercepted weapons contained ammunition.
Games like Call of Duty, Candy Crush, and World of Warcraft are now one step closer to becoming Microsoft properties.
A California judge has denied the Federal Trade Commission's request for a preliminary injunction, which would have halted Microsoft's attempt to acquire video game company Activision Blizzard. Microsoft has until next Tuesday to close the $69 billion deal, but it still has to work out an agreement with the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, which blocked the acquisition earlier this year.
Add mother to Naomi Osaka's long list of accomplishments. The tennis great reportedly just gave birth to a baby girl in Los Angeles, sources tell People magazine. The 25-year-old Grand Slam singles champ previously revealed she was expecting in this Instagram post from January. She's currently dating rapper Cordae.
Now, with a close encounter at Glacier National Park in Montana, a grizzly bear and some hikers face to face on the same trail. Look at how close that bear is. The humans slowly moved away, and the bear eventually changed direction and left them alone.
The parents of Wall Street Journal reporter detained in Russia spoke with Good Morning America anchor George Stephanopoulos. Evan Gershkovich has spent more than 100 days behind bars for what the U.S. government and the newspaper call baseless allegations of spying. The White House says there is no clear pathway to getting Evan home, but his parents remain hopeful.
How are you?
Holding up. That's the best that we can describe.
And how about Evan? What are you hearing from him these days?
Well, Evan is writing letters. We have ongoing conversation. He tries to take care of himself. He meditates, he watches his diet, he exercises. He has 1 hour of walk outside of his cell.
That's his exercise?
Yes.
And I know in his letters home, he's maintained his sense of humor.
Yes.
Even teasing you about the breakfast he used to serve?
Yes, my cooking.
Tell me about that. He says that the breakfast in Lefortovo prison reminds him of breakfast at home. That didn't upset you?
No, I thought it was funny, that I insisted on oatmeal, that I thought it was very healthy, and now it's laughing matter.
Gershkovich's parents, who fled the former Soviet Union in 1979, have traveled back to Moscow twice since Evan's arrest. And at a hearing in June, we're allowed to speak with him. We all saw that video of you speaking to him. What was he saying?
Joking immediately. He asked about my story. I share a lot of stuff like that make him laugh.
When I see those stories about him joking about it, it makes me think that that's a gift to both of you.
Oh, thank you.
It definitely is. When we saw him, if he wasn't in such strong spirits and joking and looking good, we wouldn't be able to stay as strong as we are. So I know that he put a lot of effort in supporting us this way, and we have to do the same.
Nothing that might even be taken as a sign of dissent is allowed in Russia right now.
Gershkovich was detained by Russian security services in March and is being held on charges of espionage. Charges the U.S. and Journal both firmly deny. Evan has pled not guilty.
Yeah, he considered it both a privilege and responsibility that he was accredited and that he was a foreign journalist, not a Russian, that he was one of few people who could report honestly what he saw, where a lot of people who were working there cannot say as much as they did. So
I know that you're limited in what you can talk about, but when you spoke with President Biden, are you confident that the United States is doing everything it can, the government?
That's the only thing that we can rely on and be hopeful. President Biden spoke to us and gave us a promise to do whatever it takes. He talked to us as a parent, and he told us he understands our pain. We also met Secretary of State, Mr. Blinken, as well. He showed us his card with the names of all wrongfully detained Americans around the world. Evan's name was on that list as well, and he promised to us he's not going to rest until all the names are crossed out from his card.
Last week, confirmation of talks about a possible prisoner exchange. We saw the news last week that the Russians came out and said that the negotiations have started, and the United States response was, we don't want to raise false hopes. That must have been a very difficult couple of days for you.
It was, but, well, we understand that they need to do it in private. It shouldn't be public. We don't know much about it, but we're still, very, very optimistic that it's going in the right direction.
President Biden did say that it's a personal matter for him because of his son, and we take a lot of comfort in.
That's got to make a difference to hear the President of the United States say that.
It does.
And you believed him?
Absolutely.
Is there any message you have for the Russian authorities?
Journalism is not a crime.
We want our son back.
Yes.
You know, I look at this picture and I see the headline, The 100 Days, but what I see even more than that is a young man who's so open and curious to the world. What do you see?
Exactly what you just said, you know. And sometimes it's hard to see his face everywhere. And sometimes it's heartwarming that he's not forgotten, that people talk about him, that people care. And that's nice to know.
What's the first thing you're going to do when he comes home?
I don't even know. I just wouldn't let him out anywhere for several days at least.
I can imagine, but they are staying optimistic. Our thanks to George for that. Now to the family of 12, where each one teach one is certainly applicable. These siblings are serenading New York City and their thousands of fans with the sounds of classical music. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
You may have seen them on the streets of New York City, playing music at Rockefeller Plaza, or in the subway at Times Square, or perhaps on TikTok. Their renditions of theme songs like the one from The Mandalorian filling up your feed. Meet the Delamotte family. 10 kids, 2 parents, and a whole house full of musical talent. The Delamotte children range in ages from 21-month-old Moses to 21-year-old Josiah. As soon as they're old enough to hold a string instrument, they start playing.
Just one kid after the other saw the next kid learn, and there's nothing they want more than to touch that thing.
The musical ear runs in the family. So far, 7 of the siblings have perfect pitch.
Can I quiz you guys?
No problem.
Okay, let's give you a note.
C, yeah.
C, okay. Well, let's do one more. This is fun. I can do this all day. A, yeah. That's really good. I'm like super impressed.
Mark and Amber met at their church in California. As their family grew, so did the children's musical ability and their social media fame. Now the family has almost 700,000 followers across Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Thousands tuning into live streams like this one. But with exposure can come scrutiny.
What do you think about those folks that aren't very positive, you know, when they see you out there?
They just don't understand. Like, they haven't had a chance to observe us up close and see what we're actually about.
And a lot of people think that we don't enjoy music, that we're being forced to do it, but we really are very passionate about it.
The family, who are devout Christians, turn heads on the streets and subways of New York City. They just moved here from California last year to further their children's musical training.
They want to achieve, they want to get into certain schools and do certain things. I'm all for it. You know, we'll do whatever we possibly can to help them get there.
Josiah, the oldest, just completed his sophomore year here at the Manhattan School of Music. 3 of the other children are at Juilliard, arguably the best classical music school in the country. Pearl, the oldest daughter and viola virtuoso, is in college on a full scholarship.
What is that like for you, being able to say that you attend such a prestigious music school?
It's been a dream since I was like little to go there. And so getting in was like a really big accomplishment.
Her sister Naomi and her brother Noah are in the pre-college program, which meets weekly on Saturdays. Anna, Chloe, and Elijah also applied last year, but didn't get in.
And it was really crushing for them because they
more so for
they
Elijah.
lost. Yeah, more so for Elijah, but also for the girls.
Yeah.
17-year-old Elijah is a cello player who skateboards in his free time. His family calls him the showman of the family. He even appeared on America's Got Talent when he was 14.
I know for me, not being accepted into the pre-college program last year was really like an eye-opener, and that's kind of that moment where I want to do this forever. So.
He and his two sisters, Anna and Chloe, are auditioning for the Juilliard pre-college program again, doing everything they can to prepare. On the day of the auditions, the pressure reaches fever pitch.
I didn't mess up as bad as last year.
The pressure's not coming from us. There really is internal, because I'm actually the one holding the reins back. Like, you know what? It would be really cool if you guys could get in, but it's not that big of a deal.
The children are homeschooled and then practice for 3 hours a day in their 5-bedroom rental house in Harlem.
Somebody will get to the room first and you're like, oh man, I was just about to practice. Of course, that's never really true.
So you're not fighting over the bathroom necessarily, but over the practice room.
Yes.
The older siblings are able to play almost any song by ear. We even sat down for a little jam session, singing and playing Do, Re, Mi from The Sound of Music.
Do, a deer, a female deer, Re, a drop of golden sun, Mi, a name I call myself, Fa, a long, long way to run. So
the rent for a house like this is a big expense. The family says they had a deal for a reality show that fell through.
So that was a real hit for us.
Mark used to work as a graphic designer, but now Mark and Amber say the family mostly makes money from their social media accounts. Another source of income, busking. The family says that money goes to the kids' music lessons and instruments. The family often posting about it, sometimes drawing criticism.
Why do you think some people are bothered by this?
People maybe conflate it with panhandling.
Right.
You know? And I see how they get that reaction, but they're putting on a show.
And the kids say they enjoy it and are happy they can help support the family.
It's really cool to see people's reactions to our music.
And we're helping to pay for our expensive music lessons.
It has to be comforting to know that you're with your siblings. You're not out there on your own.
We're not in like a
Singing
factory
solo.
spinning thread or something.
2 weeks after our interview, the family heard from Juilliard.
I'm pleased to inform you that you've been accepted.
Only 9-year-old Chloe was accepted to the Juilliard pre-college program. Anna, who is only 11, will audition again next year.
Daddy, you don't hug me.
Elijah is applying to college. He says Juilliard is still his top choice. And the family is growing again. Amber just found out she is pregnant with their 11th baby.
All of our babies were born in California, so this will be a New Yorker.
Mark and Amber are adamant that the kids' musical ability is a product of talent and hard work, not their heavy hand.
Is the goal for each child to get to the top in the classical music world?
I want to see the kids learn that if they excel at something, they can do great things. And I don't care what it is, really.
Really interesting story. Our thanks to Stephanie Ramos for bringing us that. And that's our show for this hour. I'm Lindsay Davis. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks so much for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, thousands take to the streets in protest of a new bill, why they believe the government is trying to weaken Israel's court system. After being blocked multiple times, a woman convicted in one of the Manson family murders is out of prison. What helps secure her release?
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial breaks.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Good evening, everyone. This is ABC News Live Prime. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thank you so much for streaming with us. We've got a lot of news to get to this evening, including the emergency declaration for parts of the Northeast after torrential rainfall triggered life-threatening floods with more rain on the way. Plus, the big international moves taking place on the world stage as the president meets with NATO, and the resolution in a dispute over the last will of music icon Aretha Franklin. But we do begin with the devastating flooding in the Northeast, where the state of Vermont is now in a state of emergency as it experiences some of the worst flooding there in nearly a century. The capital city of Montpelier has been deluged by water, with authorities concerned that a nearby dam may not hold up. And the governor is calling the flooding, quote, historic and catastrophic. With water flowing through neighborhoods, the city streets have become unsafe for travel. Rescues are still underway to pull residents from remote locations. ABC's Janae Norman starts us off from Montpelier, Vermont.
Tonight, raging rivers. From record-breaking storms bringing new danger to millions.
Make no mistake, the devastation and flooding we're experiencing across Vermont is historic and catastrophic.
Vermont's capital city, Montpelier, inundated overnight with up to 8 inches of rain. Cars floating down streets, windows of businesses looking more like fish tanks, the water nearly as high as the city's parking meters. By noon, swift water teams ferrying well over 100 residents to dry land.
In many areas, the water conditions remain too dangerous for rescue by boat.
After the Winooski River crested at a near record 21 feet overnight, officials now watching the nearly full Wrightsville Dam. ABC's Jacqueline Lee is there.
This dam was built after floods inundated Montpelier nearly 100 years ago. Since then, they've never had to worry about it overflowing until now. And if it does, officials say there's no precedent for potential damage.
Heavy visible damage from the air from southern Vermont to New Hampshire. The ski town of Ludlow now caked in heavy mud. These train tracks, part of an active railway for freight trains, left hanging in the air after rains washed the ground away. The storms also leaving a trail of destruction throughout New York State. In hard-hit Orange County, officials estimate the damage in the tens of millions. Military officials at West Point assessing damage to roads and bridges in the area. Some parts of the state got more than 2 months worth of rain in a single day.
Just astounding images there. Janae Norman joins us now from Montpelier, Vermont. Janae, is there still an emergency order there?
Well, Lindsay, officials have just recently lifted that emergency order banning travel here, but you can see why it was in effect for most of the day. Look at this water line. It shows just how high the flooding got here in downtown Montpelier. And Lindsay, you can still hear those emergency sirens. Officials are warning that many areas are still not safe and that more storms, especially the potential for more flooding, are likely and possible Thursday through the weekend, Lindsay.
People still on edge in those communities. Janae Norman, our thanks to you. And now let's bring in our chief meteorologist, Ginger Z, who has been tracking it all for us and continues tonight. Hey, Ginger.
Hey, so the debris still piled up. The cleanup getting going here at Cindy Byers and Richie Byers' house. We've been watching this process. They just got new water heaters delivered today. They're trying to get back on track, and now there's more rain coming. So where does it come from? It's this storm right out here in the Midwest and Plains tonight with a damaging wind threat, Rapid City to Omaha. Tomorrow, St. Louis to Chicago. That bubble then expands, and with it will come heavy rains on the order of 2 to 5 inches. For places that got 2 months of rain or now at like 500% of normal for the month, this is really bad news. So looking at Maine, New Hampshire, and yes, parts of Vermont down here into the Hudson Valley too. And there's even more where that came from in the weekend. We'll be following that, but we have been following the heat waves. Now, these have been broiling. So many states now, 13 of them with alerts. I want to point out the Southwest though, after such a cool spring, Phoenix now at their 12th day in a row at 110 plus will easily and looks like they will surpass their longest stretch of 110, which is 18 days, meaning we will go into next week. If Las Vegas, and this is kind of a nerdy thing that I'm always interested in, if Las Vegas passes 117, which is kind of their cap, that would break an all-time record. I remember being out at the National Weather Service in Las Vegas and asking them, why is it 117? Well, it looks like this Sunday, we might even be able to break that, Lindsay.
But these are, unfortunately, these are records we don't want to break. Ginger, our thanks.
That's correct.
Turning overseas now, where President Biden is at the NATO summit in Lithuania after saying that now is not the right time for Ukraine to join the alliance. Earlier today, President Vladimir Zelensky sent a critical tweet calling it absurd that there's no timeline for his country to be admitted. With Biden and Zelensky set to meet tomorrow, ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the very latest from Lithuania tonight.
Tonight, President Biden and NATO countries making it official, declaring Ukraine won't be admitted to the alliance just yet, but pledging united support in the fight against Russia.
I still think that President Putin thinks the way he succeeds is to break NATO. Not going to do that.
The 31 NATO countries writing in an official statement, we will be in a position to extend an invitation to Ukraine to join the alliance when allies agree and when conditions are met. It comes despite enormous pressure from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who earlier today called it unprecedented and absurd that NATO hasn't laid out a time frame for membership, criticizing vague wording about conditions and adding uncertainty is weakness. Zelensky arriving here in Lithuania today to make his case in person, greeted by a crowd of thousands. Declaring NATO will give Ukraine security. Ukraine will make NATO stronger. President Biden insists NATO's core value that an attack on one is an attack on all means admitting Ukraine would put the U.S. and its allies on a collision course with Vladimir Putin.
As President Biden noted, bringing Ukraine into the alliance now here in Vilnius would bring NATO into war with Russia.
Elizabeth Schulze joins us now from the site of the NATO summit in Lithuania. Elizabeth, with President Biden and Zelensky planning to sit down together tomorrow, what's the White House saying that their planned message is?
Well, Lindsay, despite President Zelensky's criticism of NATO today, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan tells me that the meeting here with President Biden tomorrow is an opportunity to highlight how the U.S. is the leading partner with Ukraine in its fight against Russia, providing critical military and economic support. Lindsay.
All right, Elizabeth Schulze for us reporting from Lithuania. Thanks so much. Now to that stunning scene in California's L.A. County where 12 homes have been destroyed or condemned following a major landslide. Some residents were given just 20 minutes to evacuate, and tonight there's a sound signaling other homes are at risk. ABC's chief national correspondent Matt Gutman has the very latest.
Tonight, investigators searching for the cause of this catastrophic landslide near Los Angeles. Home after home crumbling into the canyon in the Rolling Hills estates. You can hear this home's foundation cracking. A slow-moving disaster that officials say can't be stopped.
The last 2 or 3 days, it's been what you might call a little dramatic. Buildings changing positions, degrees of angle, popping.
The ground started shifting Saturday, moving 20 feet in 24 hours. Just 2 days ago, the garage here was level with the street. Now it's 16 feet down, and there is a fissure that runs through the top of this neighborhood that has taken out home after home after home. 10 homes destroyed, 12 total condemned, 16 other homes now being monitored.
Our thanks to Matt. Next, a Michigan jury resolved a dispute over Aretha Franklin's final wishes. The Queen of Soul died back in 2018 without a will, but months later, 2 handwritten documents surfaced, one of them found in a couch, creating divisions among her 4 sons. Which one did the jury decide ultimately should be accurate? Ariel Reshef reports.
It was a 4-year legal battle over Aretha Franklin's handwritten notes found in her couch, documents appearing to contain how her estate should be divided. Tonight, after deliberating for nearly an hour, a Michigan jury finding that those scribbled notes, signed with a smiley face and dated 2014, could be considered her valid will. What's still unclear is if an earlier handwritten document in 2010 and found in a cabinet should be part of the consideration moving forward. Initially, the family thought that she hadn't left her final wishes.
I think that it's a great thing. I think that she would be very happy and that she's proud right now that her wishes have been adhered to.
Since her death, 2 sons have been pitted against a third. What's still unclear is if notes from an earlier handwritten document in 2010 should be part of the consideration moving forward. Months after her passing, both of the documents were found by Franklin's niece in the singer's home, giving Franklin's sons equal rights to royalties. But the most recent handwritten notes will now give her youngest son and his grandchildren her home. Over her decades-long career, Franklin, known for being paid in cash, and late in her career, just 3 years before her death, a poignant performance at the Kennedy Center Honors, honoring Carole King.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired when I knew I had.
And that quick verdict bringing this legal battle closer to resolution, but it's now up to a judge to decide whether that 2014 will should supersede the 2010 will in part or entirely. Lindsay?
Ariel, thank you. Bank of America has been ordered to pay $250 million for double charging its customers. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau ordered the bank to pay customers who were overcharged for having insufficient funds in their accounts. The bank was also accused of denying rewards payments and opening new accounts without customer approval. Bank of America says it no longer charges fees for insufficient funds. Charles Manson follower Leslie Van Houten has been released from prison in California and will spend the next year in a transitional living facility. She was convicted of killing 2 people in 1969 and served 53 years of a life sentence. Now 73, she joined the Manson cult when she was just 19 years old. Here's ABC's Will Carr.
53 years after the gruesome Manson murder shocked this country, former Manson family member Leslie Van Houten has been released on parole from a California prison. The now 73-year-old Van Houten has been granted parole 5 times, each rejected by the governor until just days ago when Governor Gavin Newsom dropped his fight to keep her locked up. Van Houten never took part in the grisly murders of actress Sharon Tate and 4 of her friends in her Hollywood Hills home. But the next night, the 19-year-old former homecoming queen went with Manson to the home of grocery store owner Lino LaBianca and his wife. Van Houten telling Diane Sawyer in 1994 how she savagely attacked Rosemary LaBianca.
I stabbed Mrs. LaBianca in the lower back about 16 times.
What kind of punishment do you deserve?
Me.
Van Houten has long insisted she was brainwashed by Charles Manson and is now a changed woman.
Thanks to Will Carr for that. Still much more to get to tonight on Prime. Coming up, the power in what we consume. Professor and author Dr. Marcus Collins tells us how cultural influences drive so much of our behavior. But next, a deadly crash near Mount Everest. What we're learning about the people on board a helicopter when it came down.
whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Still catching feelings. So proper, and I'm thankful for your mama. Skyline, baby blue. Still catching feelings. Feels for you. Feelings for you. Feelings for you. You feeling summer, baby. Still catching feelings for you. Still catching feelings for you.
Good morning, America.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from Manhattan, I'm Diane Macedo. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. We're tracking several headlines around the world. Tens of thousands of Israelis took to the streets to protest the government reforms. The 6-month public outcry over plans to weaken the courts reached a new crescendo after Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's ruling majority passed the first draft of a bill to eliminate the reasonableness standard from judicial review, which Israeli judges say breaks the spirit of the law. Critics say the reforms will neuter the courts and give a ruling majority new unchecked powers. Authorities in Nepal have retrieved the bodies of all 6 people killed in a helicopter crash, including 5 Mexican nationals, the latest in a series of air disasters to strike the Himalayan nation. The cause of the crash just northeast of the capital, Kathmandu, is not yet known. Double Olympic champion runner Caster Semenya won an appeal against track and field's testosterone rules when the European Court of Human Rights ruled she had been discriminated against. The ruling court could force sport's highest court to re-examine the regulations that force Semenya and other female athletes to artificially reduce naturally high testosterone levels in order to compete at top meets such as the Olympics and World Championships. He's an award-winning marketer and cultural translator, giving readers the tools to inspire collective change by encouraging us to always consider not only what culture can do for us, but what we can do for the culture. Dr. Marcus Collins, a professor at the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business, is here to discuss his book, For the Culture, the power behind what we buy, what we do, and who we want to be. Welcome to the show. First of all, I've got to shout out just your marketing genius with all the books right behind you. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super, super grateful.
So give us some background on the book and tell us some of the ways that the culture influences behavior.
You know, the book makes a very clear argument that there's no force, no external force more influential to human behavior than culture, full stop. And when you hear that, you go, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. However, if you ask 5 people to define culture, you'll get 50 different answers. And that's a problem. Because if we can't clearly identify what a thing is, we can't define a thing well, then it's hard for us to operationalize it and use it sustainably. So we never get a chance to fully harness the power of culture, this influential force on us. So the book takes the perspective of what culture is, providing a Rosetta Stone that allows us to leverage its power in our day-to-day use.
You say that culture is made up of 3 elements: how we see the world, our shared way of life, and how we express ourselves. How do these things leverage influence, and how does that understanding excite people to move?
Of course. So because of who I am, we have a set of beliefs and ideologies that shape how we see the world. And because of how we see the world, we therefore abide by the conventions and expectations of what it means to have that belief system. The artifacts we don, the behaviors that are normative, the language that we use, and then we express it through cultural production, music, literature, film, movies, and brands and branded products. Every part of social living is governed by that rubric. I am we believe this, therefore I. And we navigate our lives, whether we're aware of it or not. All of our decisions are informed by that calculus, and that calculus amounts to our cultural subscription.
You've proven this understanding through your work spearheading digital strategy for Beyonce, working on the collaboration between iTunes and Nike Plus, even helping to successfully launch the Brooklyn Nets. At what point in your career did you realize that culture was a driving force in our society?
You know, I had the fortunate pleasure of working at an advertising agency named Translation with a gentleman named Steve Stout. And Steve Stout had been a long-time music executive who started an agency with Jay-Z and Jimmy Iovine. And he built that agency to help brands navigate contemporary culture, right? Help brands thrive in contemporary culture. And I never heard culture used in such a proactive way. I've always heard culture used in sort of way of describing things, but never as a tool, never as a vehicle to drive at some either commercial or behavioral adoption. And that sort of that shift in perspective made me see the world differently. And I found myself using the word culture all the time without knowing what it really was.
There's no doubt that you have seen just the huge marketing campaign behind the upcoming Barbie movie with more than 100 brand deals. We really haven't seen a marketing tsunami like this in a long time. But what about this marketing campaign is resonating?
Well, I think it's the perceived ubiquity, right? The concurrence of the movie makes it seem like everybody's talking about Barbie, right? By having all these different partnerships, they're showing up in different contextual settings to talk to different groups of people. And the marketing is cutting through the clutter. By having it in this many different settings, it becomes at least seemingly ubiquitous, but also you have more people that are invested in Barbie succeeding, right? It's like the peanut butter to their jelly. And from that perspective, it becomes a really, really powerful and compelling proposition for the brand. More importantly, it becomes a very, very powerful vehicle for the Barbie IP, that regardless if the movie succeeds in the box office or not, the IP has won for sure.
Of course, very few companies have shifted our culture like Amazon has, but there has been a human cost attached to that with employee lawsuits alleging mistreatment. Should consumers really take these things into account when they decide where to spend their money?
Yeah, ideally, we should, right? Ideally, we should be responsible in our consumption, but there are perverse incentives at play that makes it hard for us to do that, right? I think that if you ask someone on the surface how they feel about workers being mistreated, they'll tell you altruistically they don't like that. However, do they want their products to arrive tomorrow? Absolutely. And it's because of that tension that it forces people, us, to reconcile the incongruence between our ideology, our beliefs, and our behaviors. Right. And this is why culture is so tightly connected, those systems of systems, that we want our beliefs to be aligned with how we show up in the world. So, you know, we don't like the policies for workers have to endure at Amazon, but I want the benefits. So what do? We reconcile it, right? We find hurdles to make sense of it, to make sure that I'm still a good person, even though I shop at Amazon. And I don't like how they treat their employees. If that is your calculus, you find a way to get over those things. And I think that trying to encourage people to be mindful of their consumption is the right thing. But for us to ever be absolved of any wrongdoing in a capitalist society, I think that's a really hard feat for all of us to overcome.
Dr. Marcus Collins, we thank you so much. For the Culture is now available wherever books are sold.
Thank you so much.
And still to come, it's a toy that's hard to forget, and now it's making a comeback. What makes this new generation of Furbies different?
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. A pretty polarizing toy is making a comeback after lying dormant for decades. Furby toys could soon be on your child's wish list. ABC's Will Gans has all the details about their big return and what's new this time around.
For decades, they've been relegated to the darkest corners of our closets, plotting their return until now.
Tickle me.
Yep, Furby is back.
For me, Furbies occupy the same space as, like, Bigfoot. So Bigfoot has all of these rumors, Furby has all of these rumors, you know, it still talks when you take the batteries out and all of that kind of stuff, but people also kind of like Bigfoot.
Just in time for Furby's 25th anniversary,
Hey Furby.
the Bigfoot of the toy world returns. Furby fans welcoming back their furry faves.
They're more interactive than a traditional stuffed animal, but they're more physical than a video game.
Hasbro resurrecting the owl-hamster hybrid that caused a Furby frenzy in the late 90s. Siobhan Wright works as a Furby customizer for those super fans.
So this one is my travel Furby. It goes with me on all my trips. It has a little suitcase.
And now, 2 new Furbies are hitting store shelves this week. One purple and one coral, featuring 5 voice-activated modes and over 600 responses. And one other major update.
The 25th anniversary Furbies will have an off switch.
They do have an off switch. They also do not have internet connectivity or anything like that. They also have a calming mode where you can ask it to play chilled out music.
But these new Furbies can also turn up. Just ask for party mode, or as the Furbies would say in Furbish, da nola. And now, 25 years after their debut in 1998, a whole new generation of Furby fans is ready to learn Furbish and fall in love all over again.
Take care of it the way that you would take care of any friend that you have. You know, show it empathy and respect and have fun with it. Take it wherever you want to go. This is a companion for you.
Travel Furbies are a thing now. Our thanks to Will Gans for bringing us that. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest context, news, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here.